Heracles. A name that echoes through the annals of time, a name that has become a symbol of unparalleled strength and indomitable courage. A name whispered in awe and fear, a name that conjures images of heroic deeds and unimaginable trials. Heracles, the epitome of a warrior, a demigod whose very presence commanded respect and admiration. His strength was legendary, his courage unmatched. But even demigods are not immune to suffering. Beneath the veneer of his heroic feats lay a soul tormented by pain and sorrow. Heracles, son of Zeus, was marked from birth by Hera's relentless wrath. From the moment he took his first breath, he was a target of her unyielding hatred. She loathed him, a living reminder of her husband's infidelity. Her anger was a storm that never ceased, a tempest that sought to destroy him at every turn. Her fury would set Heracles on a path of extraordinary trials, testing his might and the very limits of his spirit. Each challenge was a manifestation of her vengeance, a cruel test of his resilience. Hera's vengeance knew no bounds. Her wrath was a force of nature, relentless and unforgiving. She plagued Heracles with madness, forcing him to commit unspeakable acts. In a fit of divine-induced rage, he became a puppet to her malevolent will. Driven by her relentless torment, he slew his own children, a tragedy that would forever stain his soul with guilt and sorrow. This act of madness was a wound that would never heal, a scar that would haunt him for eternity. This act, born of Hera's cruel machinations, became the catalyst for his legendary 12 labors. These labors were not just tasks, they were penance, a path to redemption forged in the fires of suffering. King Eurystheus, Heracles' cousin, was chosen by the gods to devise these seemingly impossible tasks. Each labor was a test of his strength, his will, and his spirit. Each labor was more perilous than the last, designed to break Heracles both physically and mentally. From slaying the Nemean lion to capturing the golden hind, each task pushed him to his limits. But Heracles, fueled by a desire for atonement and a hope for redemption, faced each challenge with unwavering resolve. His determination was a beacon of hope, a testament to his unbreakable spirit. These labors would take him to the far corners of the earth. From the depths of the underworld to the heights of Mount Olympus, his journey was one of epic proportions. He would battle monstrous creatures, overcome treacherous landscapes, and defy death itself. Each victory was a step closer to redemption, a testament to his enduring strength. Yet, through it all, the specter of Hera's hatred loomed large, a constant reminder of the price of divine blood and the burden of his lineage. Her presence was a shadow that never left him, a reminder of the trials that shaped his destiny. Years blurred into a haze of battles and triumphs. The clash of swords, the roar of victory, and the cries of the vanquished became the soundtrack of Heracles' life. Each battle was a testament to his strength, each triumph a notch in his legacy. But the glory of war is fleeting, and the hero's path is fraught with unexpected turns. Heracles, the slayer of monsters, found himself a prisoner once more. This time, however, it was not the chains of mortal enemies that bound him. His captors were not the beasts he had vanquished or the foes he had bested in combat, but this time his chains were not forged in iron or stone. They were the invisible shackles of humiliation, a punishment far more insidious and cruel. The gods, in their divine judgment, had decreed that Heracles must atone for his moment of madness, a moment that had led to unspeakable tragedy. They were the invisible shackles of humiliation, inflicted by the gods as punishment for a moment of madness. This divine retribution was not just a sentence, it was a lesson, a reminder of the gods' power and the fragility of even the mightiest heroes. He was to serve Omphale, queen of Lydia. A queen known for her beauty and wisdom but also for her capricious nature. Heracles, the demigod who had once stood toe-to-toe with the fiercest of creatures, was now at the mercy of a mortal queen. Not as a warrior but as her slave. The very thought was anathema to him, yet he had no choice. The gods had spoken and their will was absolute. He was stripped of his identity, reduced to a mere servant in the court of Lydia. Stripped of his lion's pelt and mighty club, Heracles endured the scorn of the Lydian court. The symbols of his strength and heroism were taken from him, leaving him vulnerable and exposed. The court, once filled with tales of his valor, now echoed with laughter at his expense. He was forced to wear women's garments, to spin wool alongside Omphale's handmaidens. The once proud hero, now clad in silks and delicate fabrics, performed tasks that were a far cry from the battles he had fought. Each thread he spun was a reminder of his fall from grace. The mighty Heracles reduced to a figure of ridicule. The court jesters found new material in his plight, and the nobles whispered behind their fans. His name, once synonymous with strength and bravery, became a byword for humiliation. This was Hera's ultimate triumph, to see the demigod broken and humbled. The goddess, who had long harbored a grudge against Heracles, reveled in his downfall. Her vengeance was complete, her satisfaction palpable. Yet even in servitude, Heracles' spirit could not be extinguished. The fire that burned within him, the indomitable will that had seen him through countless trials, remained undimmed. He performed his tasks with a stoic grace, his inner strength a stark contrast to the silks and jewels that adorned him. He performed his tasks with a stoic grace, his inner strength a stark contrast to the silks and jewels that adorned him. Each day he reminded himself of who he was, of the hero that still lived within him, even if the world saw only a servant. Omphale, initially amused by her captive's plight, found herself drawn to his quiet fortitude. The queen, who had seen many men crumble under lesser burdens, was intrigued by Heracles' resilience. His strength, though hidden beneath layers of humiliation, shone through in his every action. The queen, accustomed to the fawning attention of courtiers, saw in Heracles a depth she had never encountered. Their conversations, initially stilted and formal, grew deeper and more personal. She shared with him her thoughts, her dreams, and her fears, finding in him a confidant unlike any other. She shared with him her throne, her secrets, and eventually, her bed. Their relationship, born out of a cruel twist of fate, blossomed into something unexpected. The lines between captor and captive blurred, and they found solace in each other's company. Heracles, though bound to her, never forgot who he was. The memories of his past, the battles he had fought, and the monsters he had slain, remained vivid in his mind. He knew that this chapter of his life, though painful, was but a part of his greater journey. He remained haunted by his past deeds, his heart heavy with the weight of his actions. The faces of those he had wronged, the lives he had taken, and the mistakes he had made, haunted his dreams. Yet, he also found a strange sense of peace in his servitude, a chance to reflect and atone. Far from the opulent halls of Lydia Dejanire, Heracles' wife waited. Years stretched into an agonizing silence. No word reached her from her absent husband. Fear gnawed at her heart. Had he found solace in the arms of another? Or had he perished, his bones left to bleach beneath a foreign sun? Dejanire refused to believe Heracles was gone. She clung to the memory of his touch, the echo of his laughter. But as the seasons turned, a terrible anxiety took root in her soul. She yearned for his return, yet dreaded what she might find. Hyllos, her son, had inherited his father's strength and courage. Sensing his mother's despair, he vowed to find his father. He set out, armed with his father's bow and a heart full of hope and trepidation. His journey would lead him through treacherous lands and across stormy seas, following the whispers of his father's legend. Dejanire watched him go, her heart torn between hope and fear. She prayed to the gods for Heracles' safe return, yet a part of her braced for the crushing blow of disappointment. Heracles' labors were more than mere tasks. They were monumental challenges that tested the very limits of his strength and spirit. They were trials by fire, each victory pushing him closer to the brink of his endurance. Every battle he fought was a testament to his unyielding willpower and relentless determination. He strangled the Nemean lion, its impenetrable hide yielding only to the beast's own claws. This lion, a terror to the people, was no match for Heracles' sheer might and ingenuity. He trapped the Erymanthian boar, a creature of immense size and ferocity. The boar's tusks were as sharp as swords, and its rage was unmatched, yet Heracles subdued it with strategic prowess. He cleansed the Augean stables in a single day, diverting rivers to wash away years of filth. This task, seemingly impossible, showcased his ability to think outside the box and use nature to his advantage. He captured the Cretan bull, a beast Poseidon himself had sent to terrorize King Minos. The bull's strength was legendary, but Heracles' courage and skill were greater. He stole the mares of Diomedes, monstrous creatures that fed on human flesh. These horses were a symbol of Diomedes' cruelty, and taming them was a feat of both bravery and compassion. He obtained the girdle of Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons, a symbol of her power and authority. This task required not just strength, but diplomacy and respect for the warrior queen. He captured Cerberus, the three-headed hound of Hades, dragging it from the underworld into the light of day. This labor was a journey into the depths of the underworld, a place few dared to venture. These labors tested not only his strength, but his cunning, his resourcefulness, and his unwavering determination. Each task required a different set of skills, proving Heracles to be a hero of unparalleled versatility. With each victory, Heracles inched closer to atonement. His journey was not just about physical feats, but about redeeming his soul and finding peace within himself. Yet the path to redemption was paved with the blood of monsters and the sweat of his own brow. Every drop of sweat and every ounce of blood shed was a step towards his ultimate goal. His name became legend, whispered with a mixture of awe and fear. The tales of his labors spread far and wide, inspiring both admiration and trepidation among the people. He was a testament to the boundless potential of human will, a beacon of hope in a world shrouded in darkness. Heracles' story is a reminder that with determination and courage, even the most insurmountable challenges can be overcome. His journey was also one of learning and growth. Under the guidance of wise mentors, Heracles honed his skills and sharpened his mind, preparing for the trials that lay ahead. Beyond his labors, Heracles was known for his acts of kindness and justice. He helped those in need, defended the weak, and stood as a pillar of strength for his community. In moments of solitude, Heracles reflected on his journey, the battles fought, and the lessons learned. These quiet times were as crucial as the battles themselves, offering him clarity and purpose. His legacy endured through the ages, a symbol of resilience and heroism. The stories of Heracles continue to inspire, reminding us that true strength lies not just in muscle but in heart and spirit. In the end, Heracles found the peace he sought, his labors complete, his soul at rest. His journey, marked by blood and sweat, stands as a timeless testament to the power of human will and the pursuit of redemption.